And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the line? I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are. And, man, did you go on a run last week?
Heating up.
We're talking the road to Omaha. We're talking College World Series. And the 4 regionals we talked about, you nailed every single one of them.
Have to. It's my sport.
2 of them were underdogs.
Yeah. Texas,
Indiana State. I even had Iowa. I thought Iowa could. Big Ten has nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody.
And I just thought that, Iowa's going to run out of gas, and they kind of did.
Yeah.
They had to go extra innings before they had to play that elimination game against Indiana State. Indiana State did get a little lucky, but I just had a feeling at home they had the advantage, which they did.
They did, and they played well, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the CWS.
Let's do it.
All right, let's talk college baseball.
Super regionals.
The Super Regionals. We're going to talk all the Friday slate. Then we'll get on to the Saturday. But let's start with that 11 a.m. Friday game. That is Duke versus Virginia. Virginia, the favorite at minus 185. Duke, the underdog, at plus 155. Good news here for Duke.
Yeah.
They have to travel less than any other road team here in the Super Regional route.
No doubt.
Bad news. Virginia is 34-4 at home.
Yeah, no doubt, Andy. And like you said, in the series prop, Virginia is minus 195 and Duke is at a plus 160 to take down the series. As everybody knows, the Super Regional is a best of 3 series between all of these two teams. So this is a rematch of an ACC series that took place in late April when Duke won 2 out of 3 games at Virginia. And at that point, however, Virginia was struggling a little bit, in conference play.
Yep, that was
Duke's
in April.
swoon came later on that season when both teams appeared to be at their respective peaks. The Cavaliers swept through the home regional, and whereas Duke held off Coastal Carolina at the end, Coastal Carolina I really thought might have made a shot there. So I really think that Duke does pull one of these games out. So I really like Virginia to win the series. I just don't know when they're going to let one of these games up.
Yeah, Duke has a spectacular pitching staff, and it's headlined by James Talon, but he's their closer.
Yeah.
He has an ERA of 1.69, 11 saves on this season, but that doesn't matter if you're going into the 8th, 9th inning and you're down
for sure
by 2 or 3 runs. I like Virginia. I like what they've been able to do last 3-4 years. They're one of those teams now that you're just kind of expecting to see them in Omaha every so often.
No doubt. And they have the more premium hitters of the 2 teams, Andy.
Yep.
And like you said, they have more depth at pitching, including 4 quality starters. Like you said, Duke does not have that. And they're at home. They got the home field advantage. Like I said, I think they probably lose one of these games just because it's an ACC rival,
right?
Kind of thing. But they will be heading to Omaha. Give me Virginia. I like that one, that minus 195 to take down the 3-game series.
Yeah, I like the Cavaliers as well. And you're talking series. I don't think you can argue much with it.
You cannot.
All righty, let's move on to the 4 p.m. first pitch between TCU and the Sycamores. You were talking about Indiana State at large last week.
Yeah.
And boy, did they come to play for you. But I don't know. TCU is on a run right now. Like, all these teams are hot. We get it.
Yeah.
But back in May, the Horned Frogs were 25-21. They weren't even going to make the tournament.
Yeah.
Since that time, they have ripped off 15 of the last 16 wins, including the Big 12 championship over Texas, over Oklahoma State. All those guys ran to this Super Regional, and they outscored their opponents in the regional. I think it was, they put up 44 runs.
Yeah.
They say they scored 20 points in one game.
Exactly,
Their
Andy.
bats are hot. I don't think there's a better 1 through 9 lineup right now swinging the lumber.
Yeah, no, the Horned Frogs are here to play, Andy. And, it's unfortunate circumstances for Indiana State, like we were talking before. They should have hosted this regional.
Yes.
But, there's a conflict with the Special Olympics, like you said, at Indiana State this weekend. So this sets up a real tough road trip to Fort Worth, Texas, because this is the place where you don't want to play the Horned Frogs. TCU has the far better lineup. I just really think Indiana State had a really good season, but their luck is running out, and I am taking these Horned Frogs to take down the series. It's at a minus 165 right now, and I just think that is a lock because there's no way that Indiana State can come into Big 12 country and, take down these guys. It just doesn't make sense to me.
The Horned Frogs have 3 aces up their sleeve right now. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And who a lot of people consider like their third arm is this guy by the name of Lane Miller.
Yeah.
And he's 7-0 with a 2.77 ERA. And he was arguably their third best pitcher.
No doubt about it.
Give me a break. Also, the Horned Frogs have made the biggest jump as far as overall odds to win the CWS.
Yep.
They were at a 60-1. Now they're sitting at a 12-1. Oh my goodness, if you could have got in a week ago.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. And like we were saying, we won our money on Indiana State last round. That's how we won money on the Sycamores. The Sycamores gave up, they got lucky last week. They really did. They came out in the 8th inning twice to win games that they were down. They are 4-9 record against top 50 teams. I just don't really see them being able to come into Big 12 country at an away team.
Me neither.
When TCU makes their own luck, the Horned Frogs are 10-6 against top 25 teams like Indiana State. I just think they're ready for the moment. Fort Worth is going to. The Horned Frogs are heading to Omaha.
I believe so as well. Okay, let's move on to one of your teams. For whatever reasons, you like the Florida Gators. You were up at Mitchell Tech there for a while when that Miller craziness was going on.
No doubt.
And then, okay, so I guess I'll give you that. But much like that Duke-Virginia matchup, where it's a conference matchup here in the Super Regionals, we're seeing that again here.
Yeah.
Florida, South Carolina, Florida, kind of your favorites here. I'm looking at a minus 139, minus 160, depending on where you're looking.
Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking Florida on paper might be a runaway favorite here. I'm saying not so fast. South Carolina has the pedigree. I think it throws a little bit of a wrench into it in that they're conference foes. How do you see this one?
Well, this is a very, very scary matchup for the Florida Gators, obviously.
Yeah.
It's number 2, Florida. We'll get number 15, South Carolina. The Gamecocks swept the Gators earlier this season, but did so at home, though.
Okay.
The Gamecocks were at home. You're coming into the swamp. I think it's going to be a little bit different ball game, and the Florida Gators are riding high right now, Andy.
They are.
The Super Regional will take place in Gainesville, like I just said, where the Gators are 32-6 at home this season. The Gamecocks went 12-10 on the road, so they could steal a game from the Gators. It's unlikely that they get 2. I got the Florida Gators winning this series, Andy, and that could be a little bit of the fan in me just because I like the Gators, but I at a minus 140 to take down this series, I just think that's really, really good value to go around to go along with.
There's got to be an upset somewhere. We know there has to be.
There is.
And this might be the one to do it. That plus 115 with South Carolina, that's not great odds either.
It's not great odds.
On an underdog.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to go for an underdog, I got a couple other plays that you can get a little bit more value on, and you're not betting against one of the top teams to take down the whole College World Series. Florida's sitting right there at a plus 700 to win the College World Series, and once they win this series, Andy, they're going to be like at a plus 300 because they're that good and they're going to be that much of a homer.
Just like I like TCU's 3-man starting rotation, I think South Carolina has a really good 3-man rotation as well, but Florida, they're playing at maybe a little bit different level, and the odds makers are reflecting that. Should we talk about the nightcap?
Yeah, let's do it, Andy.
This might be the most surprising matchup of the Super Regionals. I think without question it is. Two non-traditional teams going at it here in Eugene, Oregon. Oral Roberts, the Golden Eagles. Everybody had them.
Everybody.
Right? Okay, all right. Taking on the Ducks out there in Eugene, where Oregon is a minus 145, minus 140, once again, depending where you're looking.
Yeah.
Favorite here, and I don't know. This is one of those deals where, like Indiana State, I'm like, okay, you had your magic, you had your run. Now you're going to a Pac-12 school in their house. Your luck might be running out.
Yeah, you might be right here, Andy. But
oh, jeez, here we go.
Oral Roberts is sitting at a plus 125 to take down this series right now, Andy. And I'll give you a couple nuggets why I think it's. They're the story of the NCAA tournament as of now, coming in as the number 4 seed.
Okay.
Golden Eagles will try to keep the Cinderella story going.
Sure.
I really think it could happen. It's clear that this group isn't the typical underdog. Oral Roberts is 49-11 and got underseeded by the selection committee because of their name.
They're out of the Summit League.
You have to.
Yeah,
You
they're
have
out of
to.
the Summit.
But due to the week's strength of schedule, in terms of team quality, there's no question the Golden Eagles, they beat Oklahoma State 3 times in the spring and went 3-0 in the regionals.
Yep.
This team is for real, and I just think if you want to take a feeler on somebody, it's got to be against this Oregon team that I'm not sold on either. So I really like the Golden Eagles. I just don't think there's much of a hometown feel to Eugene. I don't think they're going to pack that stadium. They could, but Oregon State's the real draw in Oregon. I don't think the Ducks have that big a following. Oral Roberts is going to take down this super regional, and they are going to the College World Series.
Much like we're talking about Indiana State, rising to the occasion, knocking off some bigger programs. I think it helped Oral Roberts that they had already beaten Oklahoma State.
No doubt.
And they kind of lucked out getting to play them again, a team they already knew that they could beat.
Yeah, it's just about confidence.
Yes, and I think it lined up for them on this one. I'm more impressed with Oregon's run, how they were able to take down Vanderbilt. Yeah. Vanderbilt was the number 3 overall odds.
No doubt.
So I think that was a bigger story, and it would be if it weren't for Oral Roberts.
Yeah, exactly. It's just funny that they matched up against each other.
Yeah. Strength of schedule, 255, Oral Roberts.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. I get it.
But right on this game, Andy, both teams can really hit. Oregon has a bit more power, whereas Oral Roberts hits a lot more for average. But the visitors have more pitching depth, and that's what I'm going to. It's going to go 3 games. It's going to go 3 games, and that pitching depth is really going to play a factor in it. Give me Oral Roberts taking down the Ducks in Eugene to go to Omaha.
Oh, boy, that might be one I have to sit out there, Jabron. But you heard the horn. That means we're up against it. But you heard Jabron. He wasn't going all chalk there. He's going to give you a little bit. And, I talked to some folks. They like Oral Roberts as well. So maybe that'll put him over the hump to
Go Eagles.
Sprinkle a little coin on him. Segment to recognize one of our fabulous partners. That is the Nebraska Brewing Company. We've been enjoying the Pickle Fight. Once again, their pickle brew. We talked about it last week. It's in hot demand. It's sold out in a lot of places, so you really got to kind of search around for it. Try and find a grocery store, liquor store that still has it. It is still available at the brewery. If you are in La Vista, Nebraska, the greater Omaha metro area, run out there and grab yourself a 6-pack. You won't regret it. That is the Pickle Fight pickle beer.
It is a pickle punch to your throat.
Oh, I like that. Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.